Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Word Up. Thanks so much for joining us. If you haven't already subscribed to our Patreon, please consider subscribing. You get extra content and you get dirty words. Oh yeah. If you think it's a bit mad on this podcast while we're doing the public one, then you should see the not for human consumption.
Sacred wine.
Yeah. So coming up we have our good friends from Aeracha Uladh on, and we've had a brilliant chat. I can tell you that confidently because it's already happened. Also, if you want to come and see us do some stand-up comedy, we're in the Doyen next. Are you there too?
I was there last month and it was a great room.
Well,
I would really highly recommend getting tickets.
Yeah, on the 14th of June, that's next Friday, so make sure you get your tickets. It's going to be
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite, or you can call in to the Doyen and get physical tickets in person. That is, it used to be the King's Head, but I think they should have called it. They should have called it the Queen's Legs. Mum will go into the Queen's Legs for a wee drink. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Queen's Hold. Mum will go up a Queen's Hold.
Mum will go up a Queen's Hold. So, and I've lots of other wee gigs coming up. If you have a wee look at David's Instagram and my own, and check out Linktrees, etc., etc. Also, if you want to come and join a Gaelic football team that's very prideful and friendly to the LGBTQ community, then watch this for more information. Thank you, love. Hiya, welcome to this week's episode of Word Up. We have two special guests, well, obviously David, you're just part of it.
I'm just here now.
You're a co-host.
You have him on all the time.
He's always on.
He's always on.
David, our regular David, and that makes it sound like I'm like a prostitute and you're one of my regulars.
Regular Jones.
Yeah, my regular Jones.
He's one of my regular Jones.
Yes,
he took
and
my kids to college.
Nuala and Paul, tell us how you two know each other.
Yes, how do we know each other?
We met last year, about like March or so. We both play for the same Gaelic club, Aeracha Uladh.
Aeracha Uladh. That's the only reason why I didn't say it myself, because I wanted to make sure that you were saying it. That
I have pronounced it wrong for the last 2 years, and it's only that Roisin corrected me because she is a Gaelicor, and she was like, "You've been saying that wrong."
What were you saying before?
Aeracha Uladh.
All right.
Aeracha Uladh.
People say so many things.
Yeah.
Allah,
One day it was just voice notes in the members chat of like people correcting everyone and cracking up. It was hilarious.
So the Gaelic team in and of itself is like rainbow friendly, isn't it? It's like, is it the only gay Gaelic team?
There's
in the
one
village.
There's one in Dublin as well, and now there's one set up in Cork.
I think they're trying to get another one as well set up, so I think they'll have one in each kind of province.
So it's Nicola, Aeracha,
they're in the Free State. I mean, up here. Do you know what I mean? Up here.
So it means Ulster gays.
It means Ulster gays?
The gays of Ulster.
I didn't know that. I fucking love that.
So is that...
Aeracha is gay.
Aeracha is gay.
And Uladh is Ulster.
Can you imagine your name was Aeracha?
Yeah.
Aeracha Uladh. That's a drag queen name.
Aeracha Uladh. Big gay Ulster.
Yeah. A member of our team who does that.
And you absolutely love it though, don't you? And you're sponsored by Be Perfect.
Yeah.
What the fuck's the crack? Be Perfect. Where's my sponsorship?
Where's our sponsorship?
Yeah, we got it.
My makeup would be far nicer right now if I was sponsored by Be Perfect.
Yeah, we went to the launch party of in the reopened Castle Court. They invited 5 of us down, and it was great crack.
It was really good fun. They had a lot of like local celebrities, and then they had Louis Walsh there.
No level shade. Like local celebrities, and then Louis Walsh.
Also on board.
Always on board.
They had Egg and Sue, which I understood. I didn't understand Louis Walsh.
Well, I think it was just because of the Big Brother thing.
Maybe they just wanted him to walk around and go, "You look like you're wearing Be Perfect. You smell like you're wearing Be Perfect. You are perfect."
You remind me of a young George Michael, because if you're a wee bit gay, you remind me of a young. If you're black, they'll go, "You remind me of a young Lenny Henry," and you're like, "I bet he's a singer."
Yeah.
Do you know, like
he's just thinking of the first black person.
You look like a pop star. You are a pop star.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
You sound like a pop star.
Yeah.
He did. Was it Louis that got Jedward though? Mm-hmm. I was laughing the other day thinking about the time Jedward went into the Big Brother house. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I went crazy.
They were chaos.
But it was just, do you think maybe?
But I feel like that's their...
There's a wee want in them. Like, do you remember they got the budget? A wee want in them, as my granny would say. They got the budget and they had to go into like this special side room and figure out what they wanted to order. And everyone else... Every other normal person in the house was like, "Oh my god, I hope they get booze and figs and like."
In my head, they're going to be ordering £250 a Haribo.
That's what they did.
That's exactly what I thought.
That is exactly what they did. Do you know what they said? They both went.
No.
at the same time.
I hadn't seen it, honest
They
to
both
God.
went, what'll we get? Sweeties!
It's like your woman, what do you call it? Your woman, dipping a stillskin. Sure,
Dip the stillskin. Dimple stillskin.
Sure, fuck
For the
them.
laugh. Fucker.
Sure, fucker.
Fucker.
250 quid a Haribo.
So
Fucker.
what did they just have to eat Haribo for the week?
They just like had a big, and they just like threw it all over the place and were like
Everybody was in,
rolling
like,
about in it like a wee kid.
Everyone was
you
like
know.
a sugar coma. All the
Yeah.
celebrities were all just lying.
And no, they were raging at them. They wanted to vote them out. They were like, so what did you get? What did you get? Beer, wine? They were like, sweeties! Loads and loads of sweeties.
I am
Reminds me
very-
of Elf, Buddy the Elf.
I am very
Yeah.
interested though in the fact that, you know, as a homosexual, Paul,
Oh, are you?
like it's falling out of me. But like we
You
are
should really
like
use lube,
sports. I know what I mean. Or just I saw that God's Own Country last night. I thought, Jesus, enough of that spit going on in this film.
I
But
haven't seen it, but I will watch it.
I was just leaving my
And
friend's
it
house
is.
last night and I could see it in the corner of my eye and I was like, hey, there's an awful lot of... Couldn't watch this with the children. Like, it couldn't be one of them films. You look, if your child's like questioning their sort of sexuality at like 12, 13,
Yeah.
it's not the one to watch.
Is
Do you know
it
what I mean?
not?
Like, you know, there's too
Not
much
at
like
all.
dry riding going on.
Dry riding.
Oh, raw dogging.
You better
But
watch out.
I'm
You
listening.
better not cry. Better
It's your
not
man
shout. I'm
who
going in dry.
played Charles in The Crown, the younger Charles.
I've done him a good service in The Crown, but
aye,
do
they did.
you remember whenever I went?
Charles doesn't
I-
look like him.
He doesn't fucking look like him.
His trick
decent
was to
looking.
get into the accent was to somebody said to him that the way the royal family say yes is like how you say ears.
Yes.
Ears.
Yeah.
Ears.
Yeah.
And that's like say ears.
Right enough. I love that the
That's
way
good
that I
for
say
me.
Yeah.
my queen's hello is I put an I in it before O. Hello.
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 Philippe. But yes,
My husband is
Right.
but the point I was trying to make before this was like sports is not traditionally very gay friendly. So like how, do you know? So before you were in this group, like how were you able to like do this sport that you love doing, but feel like it was still your space?
Yeah, loaded question.
I'm not talking about the
Listen,
actual
this-
showers. I'm talking
yeah.
about the whole pitch.
Well, I grew up. I should play hurling more so, and we're obviously just a Gaelic football team at the minute. So I started off in the hurling, and then I kind of gave it up kind of when I was like 14, playing for under 12s.
And what was that?
And-
Were you just like not interested anymore, or did you feel like, oh,
I did feel like I kind of was like, as I was then going through my teens and stuff like that, and you know, then you're starting to go through puberty and all that stuff, that you kind of then were like, oh, I don't feel as comfortable because you couldn't really say anything, and then that's the stage that then obviously.
where are you
people-
from?
Ballymena.
He's from Ballymena.
But I say, but which is a similar sort of thing because like I'm from Lurgan, grew up in a place called Donegal, and it's like you're not like there wasn't a fucking Cara Friend Rainbow Project Centre you could just drop in to go, hi, I have questions about myself, can anybody help me out? Do you know, like all you had was fucking Julian introducing Coronation Street on UTV. So like, is that the point that you felt like? Because I think sometimes as well, like, you know, gay, queer men kind of need to make this choice, and you either have to like go, well, I can't be at the boys' table anymore. I have to be this. And I felt that way. Did you feel that way?
In primary school, it was probably about, because I think, you know, like kids kind of like when they're younger, like when they learn the word gay or something like that, and it's using the derogatory term all the time. So it was constantly like, are you gay? Are you this? And stuff like that. I think it got better in secondary school, surprisingly. I actually think that I kind of used a bit of comedy rather. Like I used to just kind of want to be like I think I was around third year or something. I just started to be kind of a bit of an idiot in school and stuff like that. Before I was probably like a good student and stuff like that, but then I started kind of acting out, talking back and stuff to thing. And that was a little bit like, that's kind of how I dealt with it. It was that I kind of then, that got me like, I guess, popular with the ones that, you know, were still doing the sports and stuff because they thought I was funny.
But did you miss doing the sports?
But I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I still didn't feel I could play, and
Yeah.
I kind of hid behind that. But I did miss it, and I still do. I still do miss hurling and stuff like that. Hopefully we will get there someday. The Dublin team does have one set at the hurling team set up. But yeah, I think it was just kind of like, when I joined, when I seen this, I think it was about a year before I joined. It took me about a year to kind of build up the confidence.
Don't
to
you
kind
have
of go
to psych
back.
yourself up
Yeah.
a wee bit to go, right, because I might do this here. Right, I'll go. You're like walking in through it. It's almost like going on stage. You've got to have that wee word with yourself.
Yeah. I imagine you're playing in front of loads of people as well, and everyone's like, there's an audience, isn't it? I mean, that's what the crowd is.
And the team members, because like I certainly wouldn't feel confident like joining, even if it was an all queer rugby team or an all queer, Gaelic team, or I would still. So I have a lot of admiration for people like yourselves who are going like, do you know what? Like, we don't necessarily feel, and things have come along. Listen, I'm not standing here straight bashing sports, but at the same time, it's not where we want to be. There's people refusing to wear like a rainbow armband for like, I don't want my kids to grow up to be gay.
Yeah. Is there any openly out gay soccer players?
None.
There's a few
are in the league.
Kind of the thing.
It's a big deal, like.
There was a news story maybe I think a year or two ago, but it was someone in like the lower leagues of like the English like sort of football pyramid. I think maybe came out, and that was like the first public like.
Yeah, Swedish dude.
Yeah.
There was a Swedish dude, and then there's like an American dude. But again, they all came out after they were not playing anymore. So like it wasn't. And people go, oh, but I get that. So I was going to say I have a lot of admiration for queer people who are reclaiming their space in sports, because it's a wee bit different for girls, isn't it? Because like if you start playing hockey, then they automatically think you're a lesbian, whether you are or not.
I did play hockey in school.
Did you, Nuala?
Living up.
She said to me before.
Did you know? Shocking.
She said to me before.
I was the goalie. I was all padded up in the net, and I was like tiny. I was like 5 foot. There was nothing to me. Like if someone hit a hockey ball at me too hard, I was going into the net. I was like,
yeah. She turned around to me one day and was like, I'm surprised that I didn't cotton on about being gay sooner. Like, see, whenever I think about it, I was the only straight girl on the hockey team, and I was just like, you were on the fucking hockey team, Nuala. You were. We were.
Only time it's acceptable for a lesbian to have balls flying at her face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But our school didn't have Gaelic at the time. Like we went to St Dominic's. It does now, but it didn't.
Does
at
it
the
have
time.
Gaelic now?
Yeah, it was either netball or hockey. But I played basketball in primary school, so the idea of now stopping 36.
So do you not think as well? In that period of time, like your school was really making like. We're talking like pre-Good Friday Agreement type times. Yeah. That your school was really making if you had a Gaelic team, your school was going, we are this type of school.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But St Dominic's
we wouldn't play rugby.
Is a wee bit because it's a grammar
so your school was the other way.
So like they would be like, like you're not playing rugby, it'll be Gaelic.
Right.
Yeah. And then like the other side in the town, as we say, they played rugby and they didn't play Gaelic, and then it was very much like there was a couple of people like after primary school maybe left to go. They wanted to play rugby, so they went to
my school. They didn't play soccer because it was like a grammar school, so you don't play soccer at a grammar school, you play rugby.
They say rugby is a hooligan's game played by gentlemen, and soccer is the gentleman's game played by hooligans. Mm-hmm. It's mad, isn't it?
Because it's more, because if you think about this, like there's rugby's so rough.
Yeah. They're all dentists and doctors, thank fuck, because you see the state of some of them getting their teeth knocked out
on their ear.
The only thing I will say is
I
have total respect for, and I love pointing this out to Curtis, obviously, because GAA players tend to be hard as fuck. But like
also a GAA short.
I was talking about being a casement RIP back in the day, and like this guy, it was a hurling match, and he took like a hurl to the face, and he done this big roll, like fell over, and he stood up and just spat out his tooth. And just kept playing. And I was like, I mean, that's
what do you call the ball?
Do you know what I mean?
Slither.
Yeah, slither. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fiberglass. Everyone in their life has cut open a slither, haven't they? Have you cut open a slither?
I'm not. Well, I think it was. I mean, I'll not take the full credit. I think it was nearly there, and then
and you just opened it up, and we're like, it looks like a big massive widget from the inside of a Guinness can. Do you know that the widget won? Like the best invention.
I saw this.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
And what was it beat?
It was so in 1992.
The NHS.
The widget in a can of Guinness won like global invention of the year in the same year that like the internet.
The internet.
Was in convention for it.
Yeah, so it was like, fuck you guys, here. And was it not also an Irishman that invented the internet? Or am I just trying to take, like...
I think you're just trying to take it.
It was Hedy Lamarr.
Yeah.
It was an Englishman?
No, it was Hedy Lamarr.
Was it?
Hedy Lamarr invented the internet. She
It was a
created...
black woman that created, like, Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
She never ever
But
got
it was Hedy Lamarr was a Hollywood actress who was also super intelligent. Correct me if I'm wrong out there. She didn't invent, like, the internet, but she created the algorithms
Oh, really?
that then people built upon. Because it was a black man who created the filament for the light bulb, and then Thomas Edison came along and was like,
Thomas Edison was a robbing bastard, wasn't he? He took credit for everything.
Please put in the comments the name. Please somebody Google or Wikipedia the name of the African American gentleman who invented the filament of the bulb that made it possible for a white man
to claim
invent
that.
the bulb.
As well as with, wasn't it the South Pole, the track to the South Pole? The white guy who was supposed to have discovered it, he actually didn't, because obviously they had like servants and stuff, and it was a black man who actually reached it first. And what he then did was he was like, oh, I think that it's actually like 2 degrees more, like fucking 2 centimetres this way, just so he could claim that he was the first person to stand on it.
Dicks.
Like, what the fuck?
It's like whenever you go to these big stately homes and they're like, Lord Fwa, he like built this here in 1785. And you're like, no, he fucking didn't. The people in the village did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you took
he
all their
built
money,
it.
you robbing
Aye.
fucking bastards. Do you know what I mean? Like, being rich is the biggest con.
And Muslim temples like that.
But,
Oh.
But I read this thing.
but that's
There's an Ed Bishop.
what?
Did
Am I
I
getting
read it
mixed
was
up?
someone made it for their wife?
Taj Mahal.
No, I know that one.
Oh, right.
I think you're
mixed
mixing
up
up
with the Taj Mahal.
I think you're mixing that up with Friar Tuck's on Sugar Island. No,
Yeah. Do you know what I always get confused with now whenever I think of the
Shouldn't
Taj
have
Mahal,
drank
though?
before I came.
I have this really strange crossover in my mind with the new Willy Wonka film, right? And the Taj Mahal. So I'm like, didn't that melt?
in the original, in the book.
Yeah, he built...
I built a Taj Mahal out of chocolate,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Would you have to eat it now?" And the man was like, "No, I want to
not
keep it
good.
forever." And he was like, "Well, when the sun rises, this is gonna all go fucking shit,
Yeah.
tits up." I did obviously different language. I read the adults.
So it was
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
book.
say, I was like,
No,
what
no,
version
no.
is it?
You read the unabridged. Yeah.
Williams Wonka.
It's going to go shit fucking wrong here if you don't lick the life out of that Taj Mahal.
Per
I'm
Augustus
telling
got
you.
stuck up that pipe. Stuck up his chocolate pipe.
And here we are.
See, after a quick Google search of like openly gay professional footballers, to see like, I think the one I was thinking of was someone at Placer Blackpool. I've looked up their name and then I've
Blackpool.
forgotten it again.
Pool.
Is it
But
Aaron or something? Or there's a
it's
Jake Williamson.
Jake Daniels.
Oh, is that it?
Jake
Yeah.
Daniels? Any relation to Jack?
Paul.
Oh, I'd have a
You
shot.
like it?
Daniels.
But,
Paul Daniels.
Paul Daniels.
You
aye.
like it, but not a lot.
there was a,
He is dead. Yeah.
He is
the
dead.
first
But
article
wow.
that shows you
Or he's
kids,
alive. That was the trick.
the
Lucky.
first the 5 openly gay footballers that we know of, and no saying about 5 globally,
I know.
and there's tens of thousands of
There's gotta be a lot of people in the
professional
closet.
footballers. It's crazy that there's
But unfortunately, I do think we're not. Like, I kind of do respect their decision in a way. I think it's awful and it's really sad, but we're not at a place where, I do think some of
Crazy
them
that we're
they
not
would
there
lose
yet.
endorsements.
Yeah.
They would lose, like, because,
Especially like in the NFL, they would lose massive endorsements. And yeah.
With those like fucking fundamentalist Christian supporters.
So I used to work.
live in Ballymena. No, they're the ones that live on the other side of it's all side of the town, son. They're not.
Yeah, so that's the top of the time.
That's the top of the town.
No, but like even like film industry and stuff like that, people that it wasn't even that long ago. Like I knew projects that the lead actor was definitely a gay man, and they kind of pretty much hushed him and told him not to. He wouldn't get a lead part.
Like Rupert Evans, not Rupert Evans.
Luke Evans.
Well, I'll get on to him next. But on to him next. But I met him. He was really nice. He came to the cabaret, and he was really lovely. But there was a weird. But there was a weird. Remember the weird thing that happened when he got big in Hollywood, that he had to go back in the closet. Where like he was very openly gay when he was in the West End, when he was on Broadway. Was he on Broadway? He wasn't on Broadway. He was just in the West End.
yeah.
And then he was in wee bit parts. And then whenever he was then,
It was Dracula to start.
Dracula was his big. What was he in
his first
before
lead,
that?
and then he was like, I mean, I should say like smaller parts, like wasn't it? It wasn't.
What was his first?
But his major fan, and then then he got the Hobbit as
He
well.
got the Hobbit, and then it was like he was on secret dates with his female PR assistant, and you're like, and then but people who'd been like paying attention to him all these years was going, what? Hang on, wait a second. He like, cause the things he was saying, you're like, what is he like in men? Big dicks. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was like quoted in interviews just saying, being very blatantly about it, and then it's a bit like, hey, look. But that was obviously his team.
Yeah.
Were trying to push him back into the closet because they still can't conceive, that they can't conceive of a gay man being able to like divorce that reality from the part that he's playing.
Yeah.
Do you know, like they'll never believe you as a straight man if they think that you suck dicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Come on. If you could suck your own, you would. Do you know what I
You'd
mean?
never leave the house.
If you
I was sitting here with scoliosis.
Would that? Do you remember that rumor that Cher and like Freddie Mercury got like ribs removed?
I always heard it was Marilyn Manson.
I heard Prince.
Did you? I wouldn't be surprised if he
I heard
sucked his own dick.
I think it's like did any, but like they got 2 ribs removed.
Yeah.
Guys, do you know something? I gotta be present for David because see, even there it was
Right, where does this go?
I think it's from just some random internet site that you probably can't discern from the bag.
You want to find out?
Because right, Pastor DDJ, right?
Pastor DDJ.
Johnny was able to send me. Did you see the photograph already, or had he not? So Johnny, he is one of our bucklers, and a good friend. He sent in an image of you, and he edited it.
Did he? I haven't seen that yet.
And he was like, as requested, Pastor DDJ.
Always
I'll send it to you,
look
Sean, so
like
you
I'm
can insert it
preaching.
here.
Whenever like to get like stills of me on stage, I always look like I'm preaching.
He says
I'm
he
always
looks like-
I've got big.
So I thought,
hands
do you know what
all
he needs? He
Ian
needs a
Paisley.
shirt with
Yeah.
a dog collar.
Ian Paisley, but
I don't think he'd wear that.
I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think I could quite pull him off.
I think. Fucking gig.
I don't think. I said it and then I heard it and then I was like, oh.
I dare you to like.
See, you can't. Whenever
do
you're on
your
this, whenever
next
you're here,
gig in the dog collar. Be like, I'm here to save all your
or the
souls.
East laughs and put on a wee Irish accent.
Yeah, and it's in a chapel too.
has a
The
wee-
East laughs. So
Church,
just go,
Bronagh.
hello, oh my God, please put that on and then walk in as if you didn't know it was a comedy show and you were just about to start. Throw him with him in him.
See, even that's very suggestive,
him,
isn't
yeah.
it? Through him, with him, in him.
I totally.
I know
Now
that dark room.
unity of the Holy Spirit on it. God forgive me. I'm
You're
terrible.
going to
If
hell,
God
yeah.
strikes you down for,
Yep.
thank you very much.
No bother, but sure. You're like, thanks for fuck all, Bronagh. But no,
Or me and Alan, my husband Alan will make use of it. He'll tell.
with your Pope
he'll,
John Paul II.
He'll
thing?
confess me. He'll tell me his.
Yeah.
I'll get him down to say
He
his
come
prayers
into
on his
your
knees.
rectory and confess. Yeah.
I'll get him to let's say a few.
All day long.
Get his rosaries out. And
It's the sound as well.
Yeah, that's it all. Hold
do you
on.
like one of them like
I think there's still a decade in there.
Like a lawnmower chain.
Oh my God.
I knew what you were doing. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, it reminds me of Miss Doubtfire whenever she's trying to put him stew. She's the one that's going out with his wife.
Pierce Brosnan.
It sounds more like a thick soup, but then she.
But like your tongue.
He says, she says about the toys that she has, and she goes, "Oh, you should hear her with those toys. I'm surprised she hasn't chipped her teeth." I always think about that whenever you think like
what lives rent free in your head.
It does. It just rattles around my head every now and again, especially when maybe I have a toy or two.
So let's just say other thing. What lives rent free in your head? What lives rent?
Don't open that can of worms with her. You'll be here all day.
Mine is. Fuck your chicken strips. I think I've done that before.
I say that regularly.
Fuck
Yeah.
your chicken strips. That's.
Or do you know what actually really? Phrases that you can't say normally because you've heard them in a film and it's been better. I was getting my eyebrows waxed the other day and I actually said, she said, "Will you raise your eyebrows a wee bit?" And I said, "There, is that better?" But we are both on the same wavelength because Stacey, my girl, says to me, we both want the same.
Excuse me. That's my person.
Yes,
you
my
just
person
stick it
too.
to no.
Stacey,
if you're listening.
But we both went, "There, is that better?" Do you know, like the start of Men in Black when it goes, Your skin is hanging off your face. Your skin. He goes. But we both did it, and I was like, yes! All day long. So I can't say there is that better without thinking of that wee fucking alien man that has all the cockroaches inside him.
And it's all.
What is it? It's like, Victor, your skin is hanging off your face. There, is that better? Fucking looks like Joan Rivers after her 15th facelift.
Oh my god, if I have one more facelift, I'll have pubes on my chin. If I have one more facelift, I'll have to wear earrings on my ass.
Oh my god.
One time I took off my bra and I killed 2 mosquitoes.
Oh my god. I love you. Do you want to hear the word of the week?
Yes.
So, this is how it works. We do word of the week.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if you don't know what it is, because I'm going to tell you anyway.
She wouldn't tell me what it was yesterday, so I
No,
can Google it.
is it a secret?
Yeah.
Is it a secret?
It's a secret.
That's another one.
It lives rent free in our heads.
Yeah.
I mean, our friend Luke also taught us that.
Look.
Goodbye, Rocco, from
God,
Sesame
every
Street.
time. Now
And
they won't
now
stop doing
anyone's
it.
like leaving, if we're like in the chat or something, you're leaving, you're like, goodbye, Rocco.
It's like bye, Felicia.
Google it, it's too
Bye.
funny.
Bye, Felicia. So, the word of the day is, the word of the week is,
Tautology.
yes. Any idea?
It's rattling about in the back of my head somewhere. Tautology. Tautology. T-A-U-T.
Well, that's an A. I was trying to work out
I
what
know,
the fuck
that's
that
what I
letter
was
was.
like,
What
Bronagh.
is this foreign letter?
Bronagh's
Is it
just
like-
threw a
I'm so
bit on
sorry.
the letter.
It's because I was writing with this big, massive piece of chalk, which was hard.
Yo.
It's even worse.
All she did was emphasize it.
Emphasize how weird it was. She's
It
doing a
looks like
fancy. She's doing a fancy.
Man, fuck y'all, okay?
Yeah.
I ain't well.
It's a Times New Roman.
Times New Roman, yeah.
Oh.
It was. Do you remember whenever that was like the only one you were allowed to
that
use?
was-
I was
Like,
going to say.
If
Yeah.
you don't use Times New Roman, you won't get the job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Your CV.
I think they've changed it. It's not Times
It's
New
not.
Roman
It's like
anymore.
Can you
Arial.
use like
font.
Arial, I was
Comic
gonna
Sans?
say- or-
Every
no,
time,
it can't be Comic
every time
Sans.
I choose the
Wingdings.
Arial font now.
Wingdings.
Wingdings, it's like fucking code, Da
Yeah.
Vinci code. But that Arial, every time I choose that, I get the System of a Down song in my head. Ariel's in the sky.
Every time I hear Ariel, I just hear.
I wanna be
Now
with-
sing. Won't cost much, just your voice.
The woman who gave up her voice for a man. What a fucking anti-feminist.
Me and my brother always, because one of his friends in this, he goes, "What are they called? Legs." But his friend used to go, "What are they called? Legs." So me and my brother. Do you know, like if Ariel was way gayer?
Yeah.
Do you know, like, what are they called?
Yeah.
Legs.
If Ariel was as camp as a row of tents.
If
Legs.
Elisha Minnelli was Ariel, what are they called? Legs.
Yes, so the word of the week.
So Tata, it's in my head. Give us a clue.
Right,
Bring us down the right
Yeah,
path.
can you use it in a sentence?
right. Okay. I will elaborate. Try and give you a better idea. I'm doing it now.
Is it using specific language, or is it talking around the? Is it talking
So
around
if-
rocking around the trees,
If
talking
I
around the
was to
houses?
say, it's the when you say a word or phrase that means the same thing differently multiple times. So tautology is the saying of the same thing twice over in different words. Do you know the way you might say to your kids,
Great, super,
put your
brilliant.
shoes on? Will you just make sure you've got your shoes on now? Or stand up, get up, come over to me.
On your feet,
You know,
Mum.
over again, on your feet. Do you know what I mean? Like, so saying the same thing
Ah, over and over and over
over and
again.
over and over again in different ways. You know,
So being a parent.
being a parent.
Being a parent
is
or being
very tautological.
tautological.
Yes.
I wonder where that. What's that?
It comes from. I did actually look up the etymology of it, and it was. And now I can't remember what it is because I'm not well.
Is it like,
Not
you know,
well.
like
Can't use
your
that
parents
forever.
would always say, like on the phone, it's like, "Is that you now? All the best, Mike. Good luck." Good luck.
I'll let you go.
That's what you say.
I
Don't
say it
blame
now,
your
yeah.
parents.
Oh.
He does that.
I've said
And
this
if he's
before.
being
that
snarky, he's like, "Is that you, Nag? Bye."
All the best, Mike. Good luck.
do you like? We've said this before. Like an Irish goodbye.
Yes.
An Irish goodbye is not what Americans say it is.
No.
An
Yeah.
Irish goodbye is taking 3 years to walk out through the door.
Yeah.
Do you know because
Trying to
you?
throw every hint possible.
But
Do you-
apparently the
do you
Irish
ever-
goodbye was invented because if you're Irish and you don't want to have to say goodbye because it'll take too long, you just duck out without actually saying anything.
That's
Yeah.
it. Then it shouldn't be called an Irish goodbye. It should be called cheeky bastards goodbye.
bastard.
Because that is you
We
walking
were
out the
talking
door.
about this though at the gig the other week because David was going and he was going for a about an hour and a
No.
half. It was like, yeah.
But your
okay,
mommy
that's me
and
away.
your like
Anyway,
mommy and all was there.
I loved it.
So we did also then a gig, just also the gig in Derry. Shout out to Daniel. Daniel, who will hopefully be listening to this while
Yes.
he has. He listens to it in
That's
work
right, Daniel.
as he's finishing
You
up and work and
legend.
cleaning up.
Yeah.
So
it
Daniel,
was.
thank you so much for coming
It
out
was a
on
good
Derry.
gig. There
and
was a
sat
bit
on
of madness as well, but it was fun.
here.
Yes, waiting here.
So there was this man come walking into the middle of it as the very gallant, very lovely Peter E. Davidson was on stage.
Yeah.
And he came into the middle of it and he walked in like some friggin' lost Doctor Who. Do you remember his
Yeah.
big coat was all flat
That's
as he walked
right,
in?
yeah, he
And
did.
he came and he walked into the back and then straight away, no sooner was his arse in the seat than he was thought that this was a join-in question and answer session. And it was a bit like, no. So
But he wasn't being funny.
No.
You know the way, or he wasn't being responsive. You know the way sometimes you'll ask the crowd a question and
Yeah.
get them to talk back. He just like started randomly talking about some bullshit. Like,
it was, and then he got up and he moved. He walked across, and as soon as me and you were sitting at the back, and as soon as he walked across, I think, here we go
Yeah,
now.
I
Is
know.
it all fucking stall over bar the shouting now?
it was like the start of Keenan and Kel. Here it goes. But you could feel the energy, the crazy energy from him. couldn't you?
And even though people couldn't see him, you could see the audience all going like this because you could feel.
Yeah.
Now, listen, in transparency and fairness, that man was obviously suffering from a diagnosis of some description.
Who the fuck isn't?
But who the
Do you know
fuck
what I mean?
isn't? It's not my fucking problems isn't everybody else's problems. I go
Yeah.
home and cry about them into my pillow like a normal person.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Squeal into the plug
Exactly.
hole naked in the shower. Do you know what I mean? On my own.
Screaming. We silent cry.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Somebody's doing it. There's some wee sewage workers just like here coming all down the pipes. Do you know what I mean?
So, for example, you could say that
Somebody's
man
having a hard time.
was...
They're trying to feed a diazepam back up the thing. Like, here you go, take that, son.
Yeah,
I'll
you
take
better-
it. Okay. I'll take the edge off. Go and have a cup of tea
Spew
and a
that out,
diazepam.
a wee roach.
Oh, we.
A wee roach. Like that, you could use tautology that way. You go like, I'm dead anxious, feel really nervous, just on edge. Do you know what I mean?
Or that clip
Waiting
that
for
we,
the other shoe to
that
drop.
clip
Do you know what I'm
that
saying?
clip we put out of all the different ways to say I'm hungry.
Oh fuck yeah! You did a
Line.
picture of the Last Supper.
Could a nun's arse to the convent. Maybe.
I loved that one. That was my favourite one actually. And I imagine a wee saucy nun standing at the convent.
With her wee
going,
pert bum, wee peachy
"Come
bum.
get it,
She
bitch."
just does that there. You know, she pulls the wee headdress away and she's got a cut out of her arse and her arse is sticking out.
There's people on here going to be getting off to listening to this because that's somebody somewhere's kink.
But definitely.
Like all day long.
Nuns, there says something sexy about a nun.
Yeah.
In a weird kind, like there's something sexy about a priest. Do you that way, like, you know, if he's a good looking priest or she's a good looking nun and it's forbidden.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like,
you're not
I could
allowed.
turn.
Do you like that? Does
See,
that
no,
Feel like
I don't
Sydney
agree,
Sweeney was
because
in-
you and I went
There
to
was that- 'cause
convent
there was-
school.
Yeah,
I just think
I
of
just
old,
I smell
old
fish fingers
nuns.
every time I think of a nun.
All our nuns were
And
like
that-
locked
that
away in
sounds-
convent, that's where they lived.
Oh.
That was bad.
That sounds wrong. Let me explain.
Listen, they've no man to sort them out. Oh no, yak's bird's eye. Sorry,
No,
birds.
they lived in the convent in school.
We only
and
had one nun at the time.
every-
Well, we had two nuns. One was the nurse and one was the principal.
many as are now, none. I'm terrible.
And they're even priest for fighting holy men for boys' schools.
fuck's sake. But they used to
all the
always
older
like
nuns lived up in the convent.
every
so.
Friday they must have got like fish fingers or something because we had to go to the library
Yeah,
and
that's
you
what
just
it was.
That's
you
what it
used to
was.
smell fish fingers like all the time and you know like those cheap walking into this cheap cafe
Aye.
with like old fish fingers behind
Oh,
fish
because you
fingers.
can't eat meat on a Friday.
Can't eat meat on a Friday. I love that
Yeah.
because like sex before marriage, had loads of kids, couldn't eat meat on a Friday.
Can't eat meat on a
in case they went to
Friday.
hell. Do you know what I mean?
You can bat their kids, but you can't eat meat in a Friday.
Can't eat meat on a Friday. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
beat the
That's
shit
fucking-
out of them until they're fucking passing out and going, he deserved that.
That's
You're
You're not a man of
not.
God.
I know that one.
There's another
That's the one
one.
that you definitely quote.
That's another one that
Yeah.
lives in my head. You're
Yeah.
not a man of God.
You are not.
Sure, why are you crying? Didn't you win?
Christina. For Christina. Yeah.
Another one that lives in my head rent free is whenever somebody says like, "What way are you going? Are you going out this way or are you going out that way?" And I'll go, "I'm going out the front doors with Jerry."
I don't know that.
It's
It's
from
the
In the Name of the
Father,
Father.
Oh, in the name of the Father.
Me and Aoife watched that up in Derry before, and you know the way there's the wee scene in it where Giuseppe Conlon dies. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. It's been 40 years since the movie's out,
Yeah,
folks.
and it's real life, so I mean, technically you should know this. But whenever he died, they all do this little. It's lovely. It's like a wee ritual where they're all sitting at their jail cells in prison, and they light like a piece of toilet paper on fire and throw it out the window. and it's sort of like.
Did you do this in block 3?
And all you hear is one of them going, Giuseppe is dead, man, you know. And me and Aoife were sitting having a smoke at the window, and she must have shit. Next thing,
Here, them prisoners must have been getting the good flipping. What do you call the good toilet roll? Because see that out one play. Fingers of I wouldn't have time to romantically flitter down to the ground. Oh my hand!
The Bronagh now quoting is just flashbacks now to our first year in Derry. Remember we watched that movie with Aoife, Gone with the Wind? And someone I think is giving birth and they sent like
I will never go hungry again.
But they send a servant to go get the doctor really quickly, and then one of them looks out the window or down the stairs, and she's just walking down the stairs, and she's like la la la,
oh, man.
la la la.
She
like,
was
taking her sweet time.
First woman.
And Aoife and I were like,
she was the first black woman to win a supporting actress award, and she wasn't allowed at the ceremony.
That's right. Yes, I actually remember.
She played.
This was recently that I read an article. Yeah.
Mammy.
Mammy.
Fiddle-dee-dee, Mammy. And she came in the big hoop skirts.
Yeah. And she wasn't allowed to.
Elizabeth Taylor was meant to be Scarlett O'Hara and they couldn't get her, so they got Vivian Leigh, thus making history.
Wow. I bet you Elizabeth Taylor was kicking herself.
Raging. That's because that's Alan's mommy's, my husband's mommy's, that was her favourite movie.
Oh,
really? Because it was, like, you know, everyone knows her. Right?
She was Scarlett O'Hara. She was Vivian Leigh.
Isn't it? Frankly, Evelyn, I don't give a damn.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Rat Butler.
Too. Yes. Do you remember whenever men in movies could like still?
I still think Gone with the Wind is like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah,
like, that was like
really
a real, like, you know. I saw.
And I'm pretty sure when Aoife and I watched it, and this is how old we are, we watched it on video.
Well, this
on video. It was
you
like
have
the video, the TV that had the video in it.
Talking
and then she brought the video into my room because she
it.
thought that the room next door was haunted. So she brought her mattress
VHS were in the
and lay on my
late
floor.
70s, early 80s. There was like the war between Betamax and VHS, and
right.
VHS won. So Betamax actually was better because Betamax you could turn over.
Oh, and then
but it just didn't take up. It was like CDs and mini discs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just didn't.
Do you remember walking along? How 90s is this? It was the 90s.
Was the 90s.
Having a mini disc.
But having to hold it like that.
If you walked, it would jump.
Yeah, I remember
like
coming home from
Walkman
school, and if I had to put it in my blazer to like protect it from the rain, it was like every step.
I know.
I don't know why you would do
saved
that.
up all my money for an
Kids these days don't hold their board.
I loved my MP3 player. Remember we MP3 players that were out for like 15 minutes?
Yeah, and you could just you could steal all the music off LimeWire.
It was a wee pen drive, and you just go off
15
LimeWire.
songs on them.
Or
the ones you got from Little.
Oh no, my mummy got my mummy got me one that had like about 1,000 songs on it. That was my wee. Whenever I lived in Madrid, that was my wee constant friend. That
1,000 songs or just one Pink Floyd album.
Was it a bell?
That's it. Take your pick.
Or 2 Meatloaf songs.
It
was really low.
Is Meatloaf dead?
No. Oh.
I think he did. He died.
Is he?
I think he is
Is it
dead.
Tyrese?
Meatloaf must be dead now.
I remember going skiing at school and saved up all my money to buy an iPod, but I didn't have the capacity to put any songs on it because our computer at home was shit. So I got a girl in school to do it, and the songs are still on it. And anytime I like put it in the speaker and play it, it's the best songs from like 2005.
Wow, it's such a
brilliant.
throwback.
Yeah, it's like all One Tree Hill and the OC.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Do you know what I had on mine?
Dare You to Move. Yeah, I was like.
How old are you, Paul?
I'm 35.
You're 35.
35 years young. You're only as young as the man.
This is the thing about being within the alphabetic community. We don't age.
No.
Yeah.
We age very well.
You do, you bastards.
I searched Meatloaf and got recipes.
He's so dead, he's not even the first thing that comes up on Google anymore.
Very good.
He died in 2022.
Oh, God.
He died in 2022.
Okay, but I was very busy with COVID that year.
We Meatloaf's brown bread.
Do you remember? You had been raging if I was Farrah Fawcett. She died the same day as Michael Jackson.
Oh, did
I had to come back to life so that I could live for another week and people would remember when I died.
Oh no!
I find that though that a lot of celebrities
on the same day.
Yeah, they all die together.
It's like your birthday being Christmas Day.
It's shite. You have to share it with Jesus.
It's a shirt with Jesus.
Like, can you imagine you were on a plane with somebody really important and the plane went down and then you were like also on board?
You're like, along with another 200 passengers.
Like,
that reminds me
it'd be like
when Aoife and I were going to Turkey and we were flying out of Manchester and we had this fear because we'd been up for about 24 hours at that point that the plane was going to go down, so we clutched our Irish passports to this because God forbid there were like a plane full of 87 British tourists went down. Aoife and I were like, no Irish passport.
I know a girl who got an Irish passport because she thought that it would keep her safe from Al Qaeda. If that plane's going down, your Irish passport's not going to fucking save you.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's true.
What are you going to do with this Irish passport?
Can I get off? Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's
Let the Irish one off.
Does the Irish...
How'd you go?
Because Alan has an Irish project. I'm checking for the fucking parachute in the back page. Do you know what I mean? I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? Chucky R has la. Do you know what I mean? Like, this day has come. I'm safe from the fucking it was worth it all the time. Fucking
Bye.
Before we go any further, I need to know if you meant that joke or not when you said meatloaf is brown bread. Because that works in so many things.
Because there's bread in it, isn't
No,
it?
I meant,
It's in the it looks like brown bread.
Is it not just what Americans call stuffing? Like proper stuffing.
Aye, the sausage, like stuffing.
Yeah, I would put
No, but I
sausage meat
said
into
meatloaf
my...
is brown bread, like, because I
He's
remember
dead.
whenever because he's dead, it's Cockney Ragman's, like,
Yeah.
but whenever the Queen died, my godfather, I still call him my godfather, yes, he is Don Christopher, he texted me and said, the baked bean is brown bread. And I was like, I love that sentence. Not
bean.
that I loved that the baked bean died, but like, I just thought...
God rest her.
The baked bean's brown
She
bread.
did not... the Queen, in her lifetime, she did an awful lot for...
Moving on. In other news...
and any other news,
Somebody,
anyway.
there was a thing on Facebook recently and it was a question. It was like, what is something that seems quintessentially British but isn't actually? And somebody wrote underneath it, everything in the British Museum.
Or the opposite, like what do you think is totally foreign but is actually British?
Yeah.
Curry.
Curry? That's right.
It's-
Chicken tikka masala was the British national dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vindaloo is...
Or was it a Vindaloo?
Vindaloo's Portuguese.
Is it?
It's like Vindaloo, wine of the water.
Fuck off.
It's not
I
a...
just think of that song.
It's
It
a
was like
Vindaloo,
Vindaloo, Vindaloo, Vindaloo, na na.
I've never eaten a Vindaloo. Have you ever eaten a Vindaloo?
I don't think so.
No,
So
if I want to
wouldn't
have
agree with me.
If I want to have a
maybe-
sore arse, I'll finally give in to my
maybe
husband and give him
gentle.
something he's been wanting.
Maybe gentle Celtic constitution. I
These
don't
two
think it
just
would go...
ignored that.
Huh?
These two just ignored
Just
that.
they
And
were
went
like,
on with
yeah.
it.
What did you say?
Nothing.
No, I don't want to hear.
I'll read it.
We were thinking of our inside, you know.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
gay men.
I would just like to say on record that I am not the postbox. I am the postman.
You're the postman.
I would like to say
Yeah, I
very
deliver the
rare.
mail.
I deliver the mail. I don't receive it.
Yeah. All
You're the
day long.
key, not the lock.
That
I'm the
is
key, not the
brilliant.
lock.
I heard
Paul,
this.
you're under no
Some-
pressure to tell us, but no, I don't.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Yeah, Paul.
I've already said I'm retired. I'm a retired postman.
You're a retired postman. You have to.
he
You're-
has too many mails. So
You have to, or sometimes your postbox gets a bit loose.
No,
Funny,
he's
isn't
on
it?
strike, sorry.
He's on strike.
Well, they are all on strike, aren't
He's on
they?
strike.
Overworked and underpaid, you know what I'm saying?
That's Paul.
That matches the description.
Yeah.
Underpaid and overworked. But
Hardly anything
what?
left.
So where do we go from there? Like anal sex just kind of destroys all conversations, really.
Yeah,
Does that
doesn't
bring
it?
us
Only
in
if
the
you're extremely fundamentalist Christian.
Or getting spit roasted because you have a dick in your mouth and you can't talk no more.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it just
All day long.
Okay, no.
Are you okay?
time that.
Came out of nowhere.
That's what the bishop
That's
said.
exactly
wasn't it?
That's what the bishop said to the actress.
All that just want to hear right our new segment we have rather than dirty word of the week, because obviously we do that on the Patreon now. 'Cause you gotta pay.
You gotta
for
pay for the
snot.
dort.
Oh.
Gotta pay for the door, don't you?
Gotta pay for the dort.
But hold on. I actually should have asked you beforehand when talking about tautology.
Oh yes.
Is there anything that like your ma or that you can think of would use this? We do this over here a lot. Like instead of saying I couldn't be bothered, we say I can't be annoyed.
Couldn't be arsed. Couldn't be
Yeah,
bothered.
couldn't
Couldn't
be
be annoyed.
Couldn't be arsed.
It couldn't be ours. There's one I say about that. Couldn't be annoyed. I only
Or
found out.
didn't bother me arse.
Don't bother. Or don't. Or if you say to somebody like, don't do it. Don't bother your arse.
Don't bother your arse.
Don't bother your
Do you know
arse,
what I mean?
love.
Bar Mahal.
One
But
more
it was
bother
only,
your
it's
hoe.
only since being with Curtis like that I realised how many things we say that we take for granted everybody else understands and they don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like your ma will say like cowl reif. You're cowl reif. Means
Oh, you're full of the cowl.
you're always cold.
Oh,
You're
wait,
cowl reif.
there is a Spanish
I've
word for
never
that,
heard
which
that.
is friolero or friolera, which is like you're
Friolera?
somebody who's a wee.
A bit nibbly.
You're somebody who's always cold. You're somebody friolera.
I don't have no time for no central
coats and
heating.
hoodies.
Frioletta. I get so, yeah.
I get so freeze.
Got to put the heating on you. Fucking gig. But yeah, there's so many, like, freeze the balls off a brass monkey out there.
Freeze the tits off a China doll.
Oh, I like it. Freeze the tits off.
Freeze the balls off a brass monkey and the tits off a China doll.
Do you know that everybody thinks that saying is actually dirty, like saying freeze the balls off a brass monkey when the brass monkey
has no balls really because it's made of brass.
No, do you want to know where that saying comes from?
What? Where?
I
don't know.
An opportunity for me to tell you useless information.
I love it.
What? Pray tell.
What?
Right. So back in the olden days, not my day, because I'm not that
Before
old.
the Troubles.
Way before the Troubles.
Before the Troubles.
Before Ireland was even broken up into wee bits and put into slavery, everybody else was still spoke Gaelic, right? Whenever people would go to sea, their ships, obviously, like warships, would have cannonballs on them.
Yes.
So cannonballs were kept on this little square called a brass monkey.
Oh.
And the square had little indentations on it so that the cannonballs, they would pile them into a square-based pyramid.
Yes.
Right? So that they wouldn't roll all over the deck. But whenever brass cools and gets colder, it shrinks, right?
Like something else we could mention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so brass contracts. So whenever they were out in sea and it would get really, really cold, the brass monkey would contract and all the balls that were in the brass monkey would pop off and fly all over the deck. Hence the phrase, freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
Freeze the balls. What about the tits off a China doll?
I like that though. I do like the tits off a China doll. The China dolls have tits.
Or as cold as a witch's tit.
It's as cold as a witch's tit.
Yeah.
Or it's as hard as a her's heart.
Oh.
I would say, like, you know, say you were trying to fucking eat something.
What's as hard as the road?
Like I bought a load of mandarins the other day in Iceland, and they were as hard as a her's heart.
That's as tough as lye.
That's as tough as lye. That's like
I couldn't eat that.
That's like
as
chewing
tough.
the inside of a dead dog's
my
ear.
granny would do this. If it was as tough as lye, she'd go, "Oh, it's as tough as lye." I couldn't eat that.
I went down my like
fucking ate it
nails.
all. I went down my leg nails. But then she would eat it all. Oh, that was as tough as lye. But like you ate every bit of it.
Yeah. And in our house, the best compliment you can give is whenever your food is all gone, you throw down your fork and you say, "That was rotten."
Oh no, our house we got it.
That means
oh
like
hair.
It was great.
Oh hair, I could eat that again.
I could eat that. Yeah. Sure, you
that
could,
again.
you corpulent cunt.
Yeah, corpulent.
Yeah.
What was the word? What was the word for the? Remember for the ball bag? Oh, we'll have to go back.
We'll have to go back. What do you mean for the ball?
Remember, I had the dirty word.
Corpulent. Oh, and you had the dirty word, and that made sense. We'll go back anyway.
We'll go back.
But yes. So instead of having the dirty word, we have swear down.
Swear down,
Swear
bitches.
down, motherfucker.
So this is like a word that's like
The light cue didn't work.
the light and cue didn't work.
Oh no!
We'll do it again. 1, 2, 3. Ready? We'll reset.
There's hairs in my knickers, not yet. Right. Swear down.
It's already
No,
on, but
it's
it's
still there. So basically, it's how to curse without saying bad words.
So it's something that's like potentially very insulting,
Yes.
but it sounds very nice.
It kind of sounds like it could be nice. I usually like to pick words like that because I'm a dick.
Flagitious? Flagitious?
Flagitious.
That sounds like somebody trying to say, like you like a 4-year-old trying to say delicious, but they can't talk properly. That was delicious, mama.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I think I'm having a
She's
fucking
in the wrong
stroke.
remote. Come and do that
It's just
again.
alright, okay.
We don't have to start again. Just
Right,
let's all just
for all y'all that are
Let's just say
watching,
swear down
we're going to
again.
go.
We're going to tautologically do it again.
Yes.
1, 2,
Once more.
3.
Swear
down.
down. Yay! It's over.
Sean's a perfection.
So,
Far in the corner.
flagitious.
That's usually in the corner. Caught
That's me
between
and
these two rear
I
furrows.
fucking love that meme where it's like, this is the time I met REM, and they've just photoshopped themselves into it and they go, that's me in the corner. So flagitious is an adjective that is used to describe someone who is extremely wicked or evil. Oh. Like, but then the flagitious witch, that would be a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
I am the flagitious witch of the West.
But it
my
sounds also
sweeties.
like a good, like a dominatrix website.
Yeah.
Like the flagitious witch,
Or
because
like-
she's like,
A stoner rock band.
flagitious witch.
Yeah.
But you couldn't say it if you were stoned.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
Did you wish
But I just thought it's a great word because do you know anybody that you just think you're inherently evil? Like
you're a flagitious.
You're a flagitious.
Well, let's keep it because like I do know flagitious people in real life, but like we'll keep it to celebrities. Celebrities. Do you remember was it Lee? What was his name? What'd you call that guy with Avid Marion? I'm following the celebrities. Do you remember? Celebrities.
Yeah, that's right. I want to sniff your farts. Yeah.
That's the definite. That's probably in the book.
Do you know another thing I think about too is in that there's a movie called Good Luck Chuck. Have you seen it? It's fucking hilarious. Dane, what's it called? Cook.
Yeah. Oh, and the penguins.
Yes. And there's this, and he goes, "Man, she's so good looking, man. I'd suck a fart out of her ass and hold it in like a bong hit, like." And I think about that too often.
Isn't he the guy? He's like engaged to Dane Cook, 52, engaged to whatever her name is, 24, who he's been seeing for 6 years. So he basically has been seeing her since he was 8. Like he waited until he was 18.
Yeah,
he's not a paedophile.
Not a paedophile. Yeah,
he's paedophile. He's paedophile adjacent.
Who do you think is the
flagitious
celebrity?
I'm starting to think Dane Cook now.
Absolutely.
Well, Harvey Weinstein.
Zachary Quinto is getting
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Yeah, don't like him.
Harvey Weinstein.
He's married to his stepdaughter, isn't he?
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein.
Like, what the fuck is going on with the world? What is happening with all the pedos?
Don't really like Oprah.
I don't.
What's going on with Oprah?
Never warmed to Oprah.
I loved her back in the day when it was
You get a car and you get a car.
Even back in the day before that, when it was like her, like she was just like another chat show host. There was her and there's Phil Donahue and there was Sally Jesse Raphael. Please, Mr. Adams, stop calling. There was like Sally Jesse Raphael. Ricky Lake. Go Ricky.
Do you remember Ricky? Go Ricky.
I call that Ricky Lake neck. You know when they go like this here. I got Ricky Lake neck.
I know whenever like say you meet somebody who's particularly flagitious and you want to give them a good old talking to, West Belfasters tend to do the whatever the neck goes. And I fucking tell you something else.
Let me tell you,
know what it is.
I love this. Wait till I tell you a wee story.
No,
wait till I tell you.
If Bruna starts bopping in her neck, just run.
See if you Hank. See if you Hank, you're clever. You have no Hank coming.
Hi. Like, see,
I love that.
This is tautology because it's like loads of different ways of saying the same thing.
It's good way. It's a different way of saying come here a wee second.
Or
I'm going to tell you something. May I tell you a few home truths?
Tell your fortune.
I love that one.
We like saying like she fairly fucking told him his fortune. Do you know what I mean?
Put him in his box.
Yeah, told him to fuck
Ripped him a new one.
Oh, I tore him a new.
What way is she getting on?
Tore him a new ass. So she bit 7 shades of shit.
I was just about to say that we're on the same wavelength. Yeah, I love that too. 7 shades of shite. Like,
7 shades of shite. Like that's the Bristol stool start right there, isn't it? Like,
you just imagine a rainbow coalition of shit. Do you know what I mean? Through the spectrum. Yeah.
Rotten.
7 shades of shite. You're like,
of
once you
shite.
get to the 7
Who counted
shade,
them?
Yeah.
1.
Does Stevie Nicks come on and be like,
there's a third
7
one on his
was
jeans.
the...
Like, oh, the right hand. Maybe an idiot.
Do you know what? I didn't beat him hard enough. That's only 5 stages of shit. Come here back, you.
Yeah. Hold on, do you get the colour chart out? Yeah, I'd say that's a 6th one, no, but we're not done yet.
We're not doing that.
Do you know, I was actually going to say something there now, and I completely fucking forgot what it was, because...
Have you ever had a flagitious teacher?
I think everyone did.
Oh,
Who was your most flagitious teacher that you can either name them or allude to them?
All my teachers.
You liked them?
I didn't really like some. I didn't really like some of the professors at uni. They were a bit dicky, but then I didn't really go. So
that's I do think that is an occupational hazard of being a uni student.
Yeah, I think Ethan. I had a few politics ones. So.
My kid has a flagitious teacher, and
call her out right now.
The thing is, my sister came into me and she picked him up from school one day and she said he's so quick, like. And she said he was complaining about the teacher.
Was your oldest?
No, not my oldest.
Second?
Yeah.
Which one? Because I'm creating wee images. I'm creating wee...
He was complaining about
watching them go to school and then slobber about them and then come back.
It seems to be an ongoing
sister,
thing. Like there's loads of kids in the class. All the mummies are complaining that their kids are crying getting into school every morning and stuff.
But that's one teacher?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I can't. I'll tell you after.
In your opinion...
Still to write it.
I think if you just say...
I
think if you just say, in my opinion... I find you to be a flagitious cow.
Can you start it with no offence?
Start with no offence.
Me here to tell you, don't be taking, not being funny.
Not even being funny. See,
Even
whenever
being
you
funny.
say not being funny,
they're
you're
fucked.
you're
Not
about to
being
say
funny.
something that's not funny, haha, but funny. This milk tastes funny, like
Look.
fucking funny.
Not being funny.
Do you know what I mean?
Not
And
being funny, but this is fucking shit.
yeah.
I always find that I would want to go out drinking with them. I think they'd be a real bitch in the classroom, but like they would be really like
Yeah.
good.
What
on
do
the
you,
night out.
you imagine? Like she pulls the bun out and then she takes the
Just
gin
let
out
it
and she's
loose.
like,
Yeah.
that, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it was.
That wee fucker.
My sister said to Kat, do you ever look at some teachers and think, why
Why are you a
did you
teacher?
become a teacher? And he just turned around straight away and went, no, I don't think that. I look at them and think, who let you become a teacher?
Oh, that's a good
And I
point.
was like,
That is a
yeah,
good point.
He is far too quick. Some teachers pick favourites as well. Don't get me wrong, I
do.
had some brilliant teachers. And it's amazing. Like, I sat and watched this wee emotional thing the other day where it was like all these celebrities and they got them to talk about the most influential teacher in their life and then they brought them out. They were like, here she is. Can you imagine you'd have said somebody else and they had the wrong teacher in, like?
Oh, I loved Mrs. Campbell, and then like Mr. like I don't know Wilson comes out, and you're like,
Yeah.
and Mr. Wilson, they were so
He was
influential to
brilliant.
me.
But they say a teacher has ultimate
Mr.
power
Campbell's
because yeah, you know. But you do. You just you get some real hateful, horrible people sometimes, and I just think that's a great.
But especially in primary school, like your child is with that person from like 9 to 3,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
with them all day, and like if you are not an, I don't know, you
But
do.
like if I scream at my kids, they can report me. Do you know what I mean? So why is the teacher?
They
allowed to
don't
do it?
because they'll get bait,
Oh,
but they
aye.
can
But
theoretically.
In theory,
In theory, they could.
they could report me, but like teachers are allowed to scream the absolute bollocks.
I remember a teacher saying to my youngest brother, "If you don't finish your work, I will crucify you.
What? Crucify him!
I will crucify you." Isn't
my
that like
God.
so? It was his P4 teacher. I
I
can't
bet she
remember what
looked
her
up
name.
at the crucifix on the wall and went, she's not fucking lying.
Well, we went
Do
to
you know what I mean?
Protestant school, so that we didn't even know what that fucking meant. Do you know what I mean? Like, we didn't have
Why do
crosses.
you not have Jesus on the cross?
Because we don't have like graven images.
Oh, right.
These are all a wee bit pagan about it. A wee bit
Yeah.
Yeah, we put
ungodly.
them on key rings and all. Yeah.
Put them on key rings.
Bumper stickers.
Because he's ripped.
He
You know what I
is.
mean? He's always
He
like
has good abs, like he really
good
does.
abs. Like Jesus always had good abs in those. You know,
Well, they have
Tell
to.
us
You
'cause
would want to
he's
just
been
see someone with like beer belly.
their
just like,
belly.
yeah,
I suppose if he's
yeah.
been laying up there for 30 days, you know,
Yeah.
God love him.
made him drink vinegar.
God
and all.
does love him, I suppose. Yeah, that's true.
But no,
Even
I had a
drink vinegar
teacher.
and all.
We had a teacher, and she was, and yeah. So my younger brother, it was he was in P1 at the time, and then my older brother, he got into trouble.
Are you a middle child?
Yeah.
Oh,
It explains a
Paul,
lot.
it does. It's hanging out of you.
And he got brought down to them, the teacher that was in the P1 class, what my younger brother was in, and he got told off or whatever in front of them, and then she made him. She had like this like wee trampoline, like wee mini like trampette thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Made him go under.
Used to be called a
and was all
jumpaline
like,
until your ma bounced
she was
on
all
one.
like, and then she made everyone in the P1 class. She was all like, everybody point and laugh at Frankie,
I
and
thought you were
he's
gonna-
going for his dignity.
I thought
What?
you were going.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought
looking
you
for
were
his
going to
dignity.
say that they made them all then jump on the trumpet because he was underneath it. And I was like, holy shit! What
No.
16th century fucking?
Jump and then say he was looking for his dad.
No, he had to go under to look, and she was like, "Go under," and he didn't know
Oh,
what
right,
he was
sorry, I
looking
thought
for
he-
or whatever. And then she made all the people in class like point and like they were like,
Fuck
"Look at
off.
Francis trying to look for his dignity under."
Do
the
you
dress."
look for your dignity in that hip flask you keep in your handbag, Mrs. Campbell? Because you're a fucking drunk bitch.
Yeah.
What did she do to you?
For me,
Soupy.
Campbell's just for me.
That
Campbell just
happened to
feels
Bono
like
as
a.
well, though. That did happen to Bono. That's why he wrote
That
the song.
exact-
I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
I was about to be like,
He
that
hasn't.
exact thing. That exact climb under a trampoline.
That's awful.
Yeah.
If you did that now, you'd be in the paper.
I suppose you would.
You'd be in the. Do you know what I mean? You'd be in the like, kids. You can't do. But you know, that's ridiculous. I get hit. I remember teachers. I got slack. I started primary school in 1985.
Right.
So you were still allowed to get slapped. So the teacher slapped me.
What? What?
Miss Dalzell, I'm just telling you right now, I'm just saying it because it's an actual objective truth. Miss Dalzell got me in front of the class. I can't remember what it was. Obviously, all the different tisms that weren't being diagnosed back in the early 80s, where I was easily bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, is this ever going to end?
Yeah.
And I would just be like talking. I was like, listen, sometimes you got to amuse yourself.
All day long. Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh, no. So then she got me up and she slapped me in front of the class. And do you know what it was? I think it was. I think it's because I went, what?
Oh, really?
Did you ever have that? He said,
You're not allowed to say what. You have to say pardon
Like, what the
me.
fuck?
Oh, really?
See, if you didn't fucking mumble the first time, I wouldn't have had to say what.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Fuck you.
Speak up, you flagitious old
And the
witch.
headmaster, as well, I'm not naming him because he's very well loved within the community, but he was. I remember one time I was
In the
But he was horrible.
community.
and maybe I don't know. He always had like he always had real cottony mouth. So whenever he was talking to you, and I could have like, that sort of like.
yeah.
Spunk lip.
Do you know?
Oh, there used to be a teacher that had spunk lip in our school, and I remember this is my biggest fear because remember I turned around to you the other day and was
spunk
like,
lip.
"Do I have spunk lip?"
Everyone thinks
She had spunky teeth. He had spunky teeth, and
He
he.
was a member of the community.
Yeah, that's the only way that would have been explained it. And he was like, he stood like this here. And like I had been, do you know the way you get a note, such things happening, where's it go? In the bottom of the school bag, and when does your mummy find out about it? The morning it's meant to happen.
Yeah, of course.
So
naturally.
it was a trip to the zoo, and I just had got in the bag out of my head, and mummy was like, David, you're meant to be at school a wee bit early today because they're taking the whole. So I went to the thing, and I went into the head. Mummy goes, go into Mr. Boobs' office, and
Now you're saying he's called Mr. Boobs.
Mr. Boobs.
Mr. Boobs.
He was called Mr. Spearman because you can just look at my Mr. Spearman. I'm just going to say it. I think he's dead now. You can't label a dead man.
Yeah.
And
it's not libelous if it's the truth.
it's not libelous if it is the truth. So I went into Mummy
Actually,
sent me.
slander is spoken, libel is written.
Label is written.
So we're
She's
alright.
like, it's not slanderous.
Slander away.
So I went into the office and he was like, so bearing in mind I was like 7, like an actual child.
Yeah, like a wee baby.
And I went in and I was like, oh, my mommy just wants to know, like, where, she's going to take me to the zoo. Like, will they be there now? I'll meet up with the class. And he looked at me and he
my
went,
heart's breaking already.
and he looked at me and he went like this here. Doherty-Jebb, I should have known. Pure Trumpian fucking, what a trunch bullying fucking energy. And it was like I was going to get fucking through into the fucking chokey. It was like, but you know that way, it was like,
I should have known.
I should have known. Like, so he's like a fucking whatever age. I think like he was like in his 60s, do you know what I mean? Because I think he retired not long after I left that school.
Yeah.
And
He's more
just
than
the way he
likely
was
dead now.
talking, he is dead.
You're safe.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's safe from me.
Do you know when I think of
Do you home trust him as well?
Yeah, what'll I tell you, hanger to Mr. Spearman?
that's why I always try and be nice to. I do make an effort to try and be nice to kids because people don't think that their actions are remembered.
Oh.
Like I remember at the Feely years ago, whenever we were kids, and there was a street party. My mummy happened to be out at the time. I think she was working or something, and these old fat bastards in the street organised a street party, and it was one of them women that was a real busybody. And I went,
everybody's-
so I didn't have the money. Say they wanted £1 off all the kids. I didn't have the money, right?
That was
Like,
a lot
literally.
of, like,
We hadn't a pot to piss in our window
No.
to throw it out of. So that was alright. But I wanted to go to the
2 litre up
street
the
party
gas.
still, and there was music on. So I went around and I was like having a wee dance. I was only about fucking 9 or 10. And I was with all my friends, and they were like, why don't you have sweeties? And I went, because I couldn't pay to get it. So all my mates like gave me a couple of wee sweets each and in a wee bag, and I had them in the bag, and I was like dancing along, and this fucking fat flagitious person walked
know her
up
name?
to me. I don't even know her name. I don't even know her name.
anonymous fucking bastard.
She walked up to me, and like it wasn't like I stole sweets or anything. I was given them
Yes.
because I was a pavo, right? And she walked up to me in front of everyone at the street party and went, "Excuse me," and snatched them and went, "You didn't pay," and then just like marched off. And I remember being absolutely like mortified for myself because
So cruel.
yeah, and I just went, now as an adult, like I just remember feeling really embarrassed. But as an
Wouldn't
adult,
you-
I feel anger because
Oh,
I'm
well, me
like,
too.
I could never imagine doing that to some child. Like if there, I would fucking go out of my way to make sure every child got some.
Like, would you not have like gone, there you go.
Yeah,
There you
like
go, love.
don't you worry.
What's an
about it.
old bag of sweets?
Yeah, it was like 1p bottles.
What's it to fucking, what's it to
Do you know what I mean? But
fucking
just
you?
and I remember being so embarrassed, and I went home and I didn't go out the rest of the day. I went into my house and was like, oh, I'm squandered. Everybody knows I didn't pay, but I wasn't stealing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, she was flagitious.
Flagitious, nasty, ill-reared, ugly bastard.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, you'd be like, no, you excuse me.
But you know that, see that I use.
Now you'd be like,
see, whenever
see
I'm
it. Hold
putting
on.
somebody down, I use tautology quite a lot because you'll say the same thing over and over again. look at you skinny Dan, looking ill-reared, starved, stupid-looking, smelly bastard. Do you know what I mean?
It's not a real. That is real. You smelly bastard. That is like a
Yeah,
real
that's a
Northern
cop.
Irish one. I think. You
That's one I think.
smelly
No matter
bastard.
what you say to someone, they will question themselves. Like they'll
They'll be
walk
like-
away and smell.
Yeah. Like Bella Swan, whenever Edward's like, and she goes, do you know what I mean?
No, Conan brought me to a really good podcast called, no offense, it sounds like I've just went and ripped apart your podcast.
Yeah, okay.
But it's called How Did This Get Made? But I didn't
right.
know anything about it. And Conan was like, we're off to see this podcast. And it takes apart these movies.
Right.
And the movie that week was like, it wasn't Marilyn, but it was like some, what do you call it? Not Marilyn, what do you call that? Magician?
Houdini?
No. The one begins with M, and he's like...
Merlin.
Merlin. That was it. But it was some old 80s shit movie where they were also set in like the 1980s, like in a random village in England, and they had to pass through a portal, and there was a science like lab involved.
Of
Conan and I
course.
were like, what the fuck? But it was a really, really
Naturally.
good. It was really good crack. But it's like 3 comedians from America. They're actually like 3 actors. One of them, like,
Right.
one of the girls was really famous, and then it's like her husband and another guy.
My favourite actors who are also stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
But I don't know any. I don't know any of their names either. So
I
I'm
was
so
going to say
shit at
that.
this.
Yeah, I was gonna
There's
say.
so
Yeah.
there's
Well, we don't want to.
So versatile.
there's what's her name? Anyway,
They did a podcast on Twilight, and they rip it apart and they go through all the books, and like they just are like, what the fuck? Why is this wolf like in love with this child? But
that
then
is
it's
weird.
not.
The
That
whole
is,
Twilight thing
But
is
they
weird.
like rip
The
it
one
apart.
thing I
It's
will
so
never
good.
get over is the fact that like they didn't have to do that. She didn't. Why did she try and justify grooming?
I also don't get over the fact that like the wolves. Like, does he rip off all his clothes and then he's a wolf, but then later on he has shorts? Like, does he just leave clothes all throughout the forest?
I think.
Did
so.
you? Did you not
So they
read the
know
books?
I did read the book, but it was years ago.
Is
and
that
I
That's
also
why they
didn't
start
care.
tying them. Like they'll strip down and they'll tie a pair of jean shorts to their ankle so that whenever they
So a
shift-
wolf's just running about with like a wee pair of ankles like dangling
Yeah,
off?
yeah,
So
that's-
a wee pair of
That's
ankles.
easy for the.
Yeah.
That's easy for the. Grab a high up and go.
yeah, like all day long.
No.
I just
Customise
realised.
these myself.
Yeah.
It's like a dark room. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to know where you've left your pants. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that where you've left your. You know,
Where
But they
you've
were
left
talking as
your
well
stuff.
about how Bella's parents just don't give a fuck.
they really
Yeah.
Mum
don't.
just is
Her
like,
mad
there you
didn't
go,
even
live
come
with
for
your
her
dad,
graduation.
I'm away.
It's
And then
gonna
the
be
dad's
okay,
like,
Bella.
"What
You're
do you
gonna
mean
live with
Bella's
your dad in
sick?
a
Now
room
she
full of
looks
vampires.
different."
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah,
I
Mum
mean,
loves
Bella
you.
looks different, and now she's a wee bit sick, but don't come visit her.
yeah.
She's
yeah.
she's just had
This
a
is her
baby.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
right enough.
walking.
That man did suck, didn't
Yeah.
She
The
did
only thing
something.
that
She
did
didn't
annoy
even
off the
come to your
fucking- What was
graduation.
it called?
No.
Forks.
Forks, yeah.
Yeah.
Who
The
gives
only
a
thing
fork?
that did annoy me
Forkless,
in the
please.
podcast was they couldn't the kid was called Renesmee. I was like, because it's off both the mums. They were like, what a silly name. I was like, no, it's off both the mums. That was the only
Oh,
part I was like
aye.
shouting back at the podcast for.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, there is a reason. It's a
Renesmee.
shitty name.
Yeah.
It's obviously what do you call her, Stephanie Mayer?
Yeah.
Because the whole somebody
Stephanie Mormon, or Mormon ideology really came through in the
Somebody
whole fucking
called
mix.
it,
Like, I shall not like the whole
virginity porn,
yes,
which is a pure what chastity porn, and that's what it.
that is
it's
what
how
it
they
is.
go, oh,
But I love how it's like the whole series is basically just about how she falls in love with a vampire and she wants to have sex with him but can't in case he accidentally bucks her to death.
if he's all sparkly, would he not have a
But he
really?
does it anyway.
I imagine
But he
he'd have
does
a
it
really
anyway.
cold willy,
He would.
Yeah, like porcelain.
porcelainy willy.
Yeah.
I imagine that
Would
to
it be always
really.
lasting?
Because like,
no
surely,
blood?
surely if they're dead,
It's either yeah.
like if he had a hard on, would he just faint because all the blood's going? He's not fine. He would have to feed.
Yeah. But I don't understand, right? See
you're
if
dead.
his mouth, if his venom is in his saliva,
Can he lick
is
her
the
out?
semen not
Oh right, no, okay, no. Okay. That's what you're
saliva?
gonna ask.
yeah, but yeah, and how do they kiss?
I'll wait. I'll wait and ask
But
Look
also,
at that.
how do they kiss? They kiss passionately, and he has venom in his mouth.
But is it like venom like slabbers?
Slabbers is his venom.
Yeah, there's venom all over
That-
your face.
That could be a metal band. Venom slabbers.
Venom slabbers.
Yeah.
The venom
They also
slabbers.
talked about how like they waited to have sex for so long, and then when they were both like vampires, and someone built them a wee house far away, and they were like, "Oh, we're going to destroy this house," and they went there for like a day,
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
came back.
And then,
But then would she then not
That was
have,
enough.
would
Yeah,
she
they
then
were
have
like,
like a wee
"Fed up."
porcelain fanny? It would not be like clink, 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 clink. Do you know what I mean? It would not be.
I can never go into a ceramic shop again.
oh my god.
What does he say?
Clink, 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 clink. I'll send
clink,
two
clink.
fucking vampires shagging
It
again.
sounds
Fuck's
like,
sake.
sounds like a fucking dinner hall back whenever they're clearing up all the plates.
Sounds like what an Alco leaving fucking Aldi's. Clink, clink, clink.
Oh my god.
No, it's, yeah, like the whole, I remember there was a girl.
That'll be that word you used for cold.
Frioletos.
Yeah, that'll be them.
Fiolettos. Yeah, they're constantly
Something else.
cold. We're
Yeah.
talking about Twilight and like, how, do you know what I don't understand though?
Hi, anybody liked it?
Whenever you start, when you start a new relationship and you're going out with someone, you're terrified to fart in front of them, so you have to wait until they go home. How the fuck did Belle get away with a fart? Like, seriously.
I would have said
She could not have farted.
Oh, like.
She couldn't have even had a silent one because he'd have smelt it.
Yeah.
That's what it meant.
I was like, is it
that.
because he has really good hearing, or I don't know where you were going
No,
with
the
that.
smell. Like, he would know even if she was in the fucking
But
same...
maybe her farts smell great to him as well.
Yeah, maybe. Or but what about whenever she was on her period? Like,
Maybe that all smelled class.
I
to
still have
him.
so many questions about the wolf.
could you not just give him your tampon and like, here's a popsicle,
Stop it.
stick it in
Stop
the
it.
fridge?
Never getting a Nick Charles and Camilla territory.
Yeah.
I wish I was your tampon.
Was he just in love with like one of her wee eggs until it became a kid? Like, I'm very confused about that whole thing.
So
Do you remember when
apparently
he
you
thought he
meet
was,
the
like,
person and then you meet the person. So werewolves, like, what are they called? The
Imprint.
quaaludes?
Imprint, that's it.
They imprint upon a person.
Quaaludes, no, that's like a form
Quaaludes
of...
is
That's
that's
the
a
stuff-
completely different
Yeah.
movie and a completely different
Yeah.
thing. That's the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Where he has to
Completely
try and get
different
out of
movie.
his car
Remember
home
the
and he's
cerebral
like,
palsy
he's like
stage.
army crawling down into his car. They're
Yeah.
quaaludes.
Quaaludes. Well, they're just something different again.
That's very different.
Now for
Bring it
an
back.
inter-quaalude.
Yeah.
But they imprint.
Coolites.
Once you meet somebody and then you imprint upon them, so it's like love at first sight.
Yeah.
But that's grooming.
Yeah.
It was a baby.
If you meet
Yeah.
a baby,
Yeah.
and yes, she might have grown up to be a teenager within 4
Yeah.
days, but with those 4
But
days,
I love
she
how
was-
Stephanie Mayer made that very convenient that she was going to grow
Yeah.
up really quickly.
Also,
Aye, but-
I
It's like,
thought,
you won't have to
like,
wait long. Do you know what I mean, Jacob?
Bella's only issue was that he gave her a shit nickname, not that he's
What
in
was
love
his-
with
what was
her
the
child,
nick- what was
the
Nessie. And then she's like, "Oh, you
whole
named
lot
my
of-
child,
my child
after the Loch Ness monster."
Not you're in love with my child.
And
Yeah.
then nobody was going like in the like in the Vampire Shock movie they pointed out, but nobody sort of goes, yeah, that's the Cullens. They're foster brothers and sisters, but also boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like,
That was
Like,
literally
what's going
mentioned in like the first episode,
Is it
the first
episode-
part of the
is
movie.
it?
Yeah, it's
Like,
like they're like that's Dr. Collins foster. I think that's like
And
word
they
for
all-
word.
and they all fuck.
And yeah, it's
Oh,
just like,
really?
but they all date.
And it's
yeah,
like-
because it's Nikki Reed, not character.
Yeah,
Is she not?
I feel like what you
Reed.
said is literally word for word, but
Is it?
actually in
What
the
they say,
movie.
because that's what I would be like. I don't want to hang out with Emmons. There's
Yeah.
that some weird
Yeah.
fundamentalist fucking sister wife
What
shit
do you call
happening up
that?
in
Yeah.
Cullen
Actress
House.
who's in it, but
Yeah.
she's not
I'm not
really
going
in it.
up. Did
She's
you
in,
were
like,
you
the
a
start.
fan?
She fancies the other. She fancies
I
Edward.
just thought that
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick,
Quaalude
that's
was
it.
like a way that a culty describes porn. Quaalude.
That's
Quaalude.
Quaalude.
Very good. Culture
That's
porn.
Quaalude. That's Quaalude.
Quaalude.
It's awful loud. It's an awful. I remember my brother going to see 50 Shades of Grey, which is, germanely
Quaalude.
enough, actually Twilight
Fan
fanfic.
fiction.
It is, yeah.
Um,
It started
Twilight
off as
fanfic.
Twilight fan fiction, but
Oh.
she had to stop doing it because, like, it was too pornographic, so she just changed the names and made it
See all the
non-vampires.
fucking Harry Potter fanfic and their fucking Expelliarmus fucking bras and all. Do you know what I mean? It's very choo choo Accio fucking dildo. Do you know
No,
that it's
but
all coming over?
Serious.
It's all this Accio butt plug.
This one isn't mine.
Good shot, Harry.
Well done, old chap.
What did you call the wee ball? The
Oh yeah,
the
the golden
snitch.
The
snitch.
golden
Snitch,
snitch.
yeah.
Show me your golden snitch.
The golden
The golden snitch.
Give us a look at your golden snatch, Hermione.
Harry was the first one to get his hands around it.
12 points to Gryffindor. And the Hufflepuffers.
And they have quaffles as well. Quaffle sounds.
quaffle.
She's got a blue quaffle.
That's-
Don't get
That sounds like somebody saying quornawful. That's quaffle. That's quornawful.
Quornawful.
She grabbed her quaffle, or blue quaffle.
So you got bludgers, quaffles, and snitches.
I am
he
so...
was smacking her up the golden snitch. with
Oh,
his
she was
bludger.
getting... She had her
getting
hands on his bludger.
I think there should be a Slytherin thing in there.
There's a
somewhere.
You slither in my bludger any day.
Slither in my Hufflepuff.
Yeah, there's too many ways to make
There
it.
is.
Somebody who handles a bludger is a beater.
A beater.
That's right. Yeah.
Beating at your
It's
back
all very
Gryffindor.
erotic.
Ooh.
It is very
Yeah.
erotic, isn't it? Yeah, but I always think there must be a terrible, terrible way of like, you know, like date rape and stuff in the Harry Potter universe. Just slip somebody a love potion or
Oh, why?
confund
Well,
them.
they're not.
happens.
Yeah,
that happens wrong.
that's what
Is that not
Voldemort-
what Lavender does?
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
But it's still not right. It's not
right.
okay.
She, it's not. It's
I
that's not
really don't like Harry
slipping
Potter.
love potions.
Yeah, it's
Slipping.
like totally
We would like to make an announcement at assembly to do giving people love potions because that's pretty much rafe, and I am looking at you, Lavender Brown.
I like Lavender.
You
She
might
didn't
have got
deserve to
his
die.
broomstick up, but that doesn't give you the chance to ride it. It's still illegal, and I I am the head of the Wiz and Amigot, and I've written these rules, so obey.
Oh,
I really liked Elliot there.
I fell in love with Harry Potter. I'm so sad about the whole J.K. Rowling thing.
Yeah,
It
but
makes
you
me
have
very
to
sad.
she's dead now.
She's dead. I don't even know. Joanne.
Death of the author.
Joanne is gone. But I fell in love with Harry Potter with the book, with The Prisoner of Azkaban. That's when I became a fan. For it was like that was the first time you saw all the backstory and all the families and all the like you found out about the mommy and daddy and
It's just all. It's like it's world building.
Yeah.
Whereas like then the Prisoner of Azkaban is like getting into nitty gritty.
I love them all.
I will say though, I really don't like James Potter. Like he was
The dad?
fictitious.
James Potter.
Like,
He was.
It was horrible to Snape.
He was
Have you
horrible
ever
to
watched
Snape.
see any flashbacks? I was like, he was a dick.
He was a dick.
Bully.
Like,
he was a proper bully.
Yeah.
And there was fucking
And I can
Peter
understand.
Wormtail. It's like, look at it, bully him. Bully ugly bastard.
James Potter would have been a homophobe.
He would have been.
He would have been.
He totally would have been,
absolutely.
He would have been. He would have been. Do you know what I mean?
I just don't understand how Harry Potter didn't have any other family than the fucking
Dursleys?
Dursleys. What about the dad's
Fiona.
side?
So he was an only child, and his mum and daddy were really old,
That's right.
and they were dead before he was born. So he only had.
Like there wasn't
Aunt
even
Petunia.
a distant fucking cousin somewhere. Like I'm sure he's bound to. I mean, but you find out that they're all related. Like the Peverils were the three.
They were all
original,
Peverils.
Like so. I mean, what the fuck?
Fucking incest.
It's just shit. Like, but you know, I could never be. I was saying, I know that I'm stuck being a Muggle forever. But if I was,
Speak for yourself.
but if I was, like, I don't understand how. Can
glad
you
you
not?
finally
Can
come
you
to
not
terms.
imagine like the day
I found
after
out that-
being out all night on the pumpkin juice?
If I found out that my man
You'd
had
be
my
like,
letter,
Has anybody seen my wand? Oh, I think you left it in the back of the fucking carriage last night. Ring up the carriage place and see is it there. Do you know
yeah,
what I
just
mean?
do this like
Yeah, would you not just get home with
Yeah,
your
like,
wand?
how do
operate?
you do it? Maybe you're not allowed to operate drunk.
You can't operate in
Until you're
school,
17.
sure you can't.
You can't operate within the walls of Hogwarts except for if you're a house. Anyways, we have completely went off topic.
Welcome.
Welcome.
The dismantling of the wizarding world of Harry Potter.
Yes, all day long.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and his magic wand. Of
Harry Potter and he's gobbling your fire.
goblin.
Your big ring of
Goblin or
fire.
bludgeon.
Goblins and
Goblin your
goblin
bludger.
your cup
Yeah, yeah. Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secretions.
of yuck.
Triangles are too
Oh.
far.
Triwizard cunt.
Right.
Yeah. I love it.
It's like an threesome.
That's a website that
Yeah.
they're all watching.
All day long. Right, so I want to say thank you to everybody who has joined us so far. If you want to come over and see what the dirty word of the week is on the Patreon, come on ahead. We will dirty it up and let you know. Thank you so much for joining us.